In a single night, the promise of peace has been broken, the Crown City along with it. Putting their home behind them, the four friends set forth to find answers in Hammerhead.
Don't suppose the Crown's Guard is still active?
I wouldn't count on it. Not with the Marshal out here.
I wonder how things are in the city.
There should be reports before long.
Yeah, something this big can't go ignored.
And what about us? What do we do?
We make for Hammerhead now, and figure the rest out later. Got a message from my sister. She's with refugees bound for Lestalem.
Well, at least Iris is okay.
Yeah, doesn't sound like everyone else was so lucky, though.
We'd best make haste. Noct won't be dead forever.
No going back. Only ways forward.
No going back. Let's go. Hey.
Glad y'all made it. No weather for driving, that's for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Where's Core?
Left to see to business. And left y'all a message with Pawpaw.
Yeah?
Boss ain't sat still 1 second since he heard y'all were coming.
Welcome back to Azure Plays, more Final Fantasy 15. Let's go talk to Sid. After the events of last episode, I think we need to find out what's going on around here as well.
Crystal and the King's Ring, what they've been after all along.
So all talk of peace was merely a pretext.
They played my father for a fool.
Don't kid yourself. Reggie wasn't born yesterday. Lucius got dealt a losing hand, and your old man played it the best he could. He saw this coming a mile away, and he wasn't gonna go down without a fight. In the end, though, well, it just wasn't enough. You need something else, you talk to Core. I can't even remember the last time I saw Reggie. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Before we leave the garage, if we head back into the back corner over here, just avoid hitting our head on those poles there, we can grab a high potion. And right back outside, Sid is still technically waiting for us.
Cora left a message. Said he'll wait for you in the tombs. They're to the northwest of here. That's a short ways past the outpost. Find that first. Interesting toy you got there.
This? It's just something we picked up after taking out some Imperials.
Well, I'll be Crown City made. If you like, I can make this puppy better. Give it more oomph.
How?
I can mod it for you.
Mod it?
Look, I got diddly squat to do what with Cindy taking care of the garage. If you can find the parts, I can do the work for you.
Metal scrap is easy to find. You can find it right here in Hammerhead, actually, just by looking around. So let's turn that in.
All right, y'all just sit tight while I do my tinkering. Here she is. Try her out and let me know what you think. Got yourself a new toy. I can crank up the fun for you, but I'm gonna need parts from, this area.
Same with the rusted bit. You can actually find that on a pile of rocks just really close to Hammerhead, ironically enough, but there are other ones around, and we'll be seeing one soon enough. But first, the drain lance and the engine blade, we need to have them
Fix
not
it up,
equipped
Braid.
so we can actually
Can
upgrade
do.
them. So here we go. And now we have another quest for a better drain lance too as well, but we can't exactly get that one just yet.
Proceed with thanks. Y'all just leave the rest to me.
But that gives us a better engine blade right away.
Take it for a spin. It'll be a riot. Fixing to upgrade.
And now we have a
Can
better
do.
sword as well as a better lance to use. And another quest for a better engine blade too, where we need a glass gemstone. This we definitely can't get yet, but we will in due time.
How y'all doing?
Now that we got some upgraded equipment, there's actually a couple more side quests we can do in the area. So let's head over to the pit stop really quick in order to get some from Takka.
Oh, well, if it ain't the boys with the fancy automobile.
That's us.
Y'all want to fetch some edibles for me?
Why are you asking us?
Well, it's just an old Sid.
Sid.
Yep, said I should give y'all some work, don't matter what kind. Seeing as you boys can't go home for the time being.
Got us there.
So y'all gotta learn about the wider world. Now, if y'all can't find the stuff I need, it ain't no big deal, but it'd surely help me out if you could.
A rather easy quest. We need to obtain a Lucian tomato. We can actually get one from Golden Key as well as the Long Rife West area, which we don't need to actually do the drive. If we want, we can actually look at our map over here and we can see one is not too far away from Hammerhead, so we can just go pick it ourselves if we want. But let's make our way to the camp first because there is quite a distance between us and the tomato.
Another test from the old man.
He sure is hard on us.
I think he's worried about us.
He wants us to prove that we can make it out here.
Well, if it's as easy as picking a tomato, at least you have survival skills.
They will have sealed off the city by now.
What do you think it's like inside?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
We'll see for ourselves in time.
Indeed. Merely a question of when.
Can't believe the crystal's gone.
The bastards took it all.
And we'll take it back.
This is far from over.
I definitely share in that sentiment, considering it's only Chapter 2. We have a long way to go before we get anywhere close to beating this game. So, right over at the campground over here, it's taking me a little bit longer to get there than I expected. So let me just get a little bit of a push with my stamina. There we go. And we are at the Haven. At the campground in Chapter 2, we can actually use another training session, serious practice. So if we train again, Gladio will be slightly stronger in this iteration of himself. So it's level 10. It's not too big of a deal even still. We can still beat him down. This Gladio is not weak to spears, guns, as well as holy, but he is weak to machinery and lightning. I'm not gonna bother switching around for this, but just know that this Gladio will dodge most of your attacks, so you might wanna get ready for, ow, that hit me, that's fine. Oh, okay. Yes, we pretty much just need to dodge his attacks and just hit him after dodging his attacks, and then do a parry whenever those pops pop up. And then we can just hit him as that happens. We can't really hit him normally because he'll just sit there and keep dodging, so just get a parry in and do some damage. You can get a lot of damage using a sword or a great sword. In this case, using a great sword would be a little bit better, but I'm a little bit easier to just use the sword and just parry a little bit. But I'm gonna get a little bit more damage with the sword, just bam. That does a lot right there, and then one more ought to do it. Just gotta get there and boop. Easy peasy. And our reward for that is 5 AP. Yep, a little bit more AP. We definitely should start spending that at some point. But while we're at the camp, instead of traveling at night, we're just going to use the patch to wait till morning. And then, boop, get our stuff. We don't need to worry about wasting our experience levels just yet. We don't have a lot of experience. I would rather wait until we have a little bit more to cash it in. But we're heading towards Lucian Tomato, so I have my little waypoint right over there. We don't want to head directly to it, though, because there is a little bit of an instanced area. You can only get in and out by following this trail. It's not hard to get in and out of, but there is a very strong enemy in there if you're not careful.
A Magitech engine.
Oh, well, it looks like we're going to get ambushed immediately. During Chapter 2 and so on, we are going to start getting ambushed, you are very far away, by Magitech soldiers. The Imperials are essentially after us to kind of make sure that we are quote-unquote dead. And they're not very hard to deal with, but there is an enemy that will spawn in this chapter exclusively, and maybe a little bit later actually, that you need to keep getting ambushed by these things and keep killing them, and then they'll eventually appear. Hello there.
This'll be quick.
Just ignore them for now. The missable entry is Magitech's Bannermen. It is possible to just outright never see them because they only show up if you keep getting ambushed by these over and over and over again. But these Axemen have a little bit of a feature that can get annoying. If you fail to dodge, yeah, you get pretty much blindsided like this and you lose all your MP. They hold you down, and then eventually they will try to come at you by exploding. And then when they get close, you just counter it and you're good to go. You get your MP back. It's annoying because you can't control yourself when that happens because they just kind of lock you in an instant moment. So you just kind of have to be wary of that. But yes, going back to the Axemen, they are weak to spears as well as daggers and lightning as well because they are pretty much robots. So getting them overcharged, it makes them a little bit messed up. But it's fine. I can just deal with them just like so. Ow. I'm worried about the Axemen and then the Rebatel just comes in like bam.
Getting by.
I will just get a good hit in there with one of these. And bam. I should get rid of you, throw that, and get rid of you. One more to go. All right. Now I can head over to the Lucian Tomato.
Around here.
Yeah, they are going to spawn randomly here and there. They kind of technically have fixed points where they come in. They usually just kind of follow you around and then eventually they'll just spawn some more and then you have to fight some. It can get annoying if they keep spawning, but there is one particular enemy that will spawn if you just keep letting them come to you. And now, as you can tell, the music changed and the characters are kind of drooping and walking slow. That just means I'm in the instance area and I can't save anymore because they don't want you saving in areas where you might get screwed over in. But yeah, you can't save. If you get close enough, you see the Bandersnatch. We are not going to be dealing with that thing right now because it's like level 38, and I would rather not deal with that right now because it can pretty much one-shot us pretty dang easily. We're just going to walk slowly around to get to this tomato. We could have just taken the shorter way around instead of going from the camp and not even notice that thing. But just so you know, it is there. It is challengeable. You can beat it now even at low levels.
Got it.
So it's not a big deal, but you're probably gonna be wasting a lot of items if you're not really good with the sword play and moving around and making sure your characters don't get hurt and stuff. More than likely, the rest of the party is gonna go down because they like to just be next to the thing and get hit by it all the time, but you can kind of abuse point warps and just keep getting out of the way. All right, almost there. There's a couple enemies in the area.
Safety first, everybody.
And are you kidding me right now? More Imperials? All right, let's just get rid of them really quick. More of them. It's fine by me. I'm just gonna ready one of these and bam. That definitely got rid of most of them in like one hit. There we go. Now can I grab this tomato in peace? This is like the worst grocery hunt ever. All right, here we go. Tomato.
Just what Takka ordered.
Yeah, took care of that pretty quickly.
Not much of a job after all.
He went easy on us. Let's deliver this as a show of thanks.
And thankfully, the easiest way of getting back from here is just returning to our car, returning to the rest point. Because I didn't actually use the camp, I could just do this and it'll just get me back to these lodgings, or I could just return to my car.
See that you buy no more than we need.
Sheesh. You my mother or something?
Mum's the word.
All right, let's just go and turn this in. Right over here.
What can I do you for?
I saw that split moment of it activating the other
take
one.
care
That's
now.
not what I wanted to do. It's kind of annoying because you have to click on this particular spot and not him. But there we go. Let's hand this over.
Oh, you all went and got what I asked for.
Too easily. I thought Sid told you to give us work.
Yeah, well, I guess I went a little soft on you. I'll be sure to give you more of a challenge next time. How's about that? Anywho, I appreciate your help. Here's a little care package. Should make for good eating.
All right, that's the quest complete. We get some experience out of that, as well as some giggy hams, leading potatoes, sheep milk, as well as fungars. We got an assortment of cooking materials. But let's get the other quest.
Oh, hey boys. You got time to lend a fella a helping hand?
Long as it's not a simple shopping trip this time.
Nope, this one's gonna take some effort. I'm sending y'all straight to the source this time. In other words, it's hunting time. The stuff I want y'all to collect, I'm fixing to use in a new dish. Hope you can help me out.
Hunters and gatherers, attain a dire scroll best, which we can actually get one of these earlier on where we found the Blade Bernary. Those spawn over there too. I just haven't got one from them, so I have to go get it.
So he's creating a new dish.
That's what he says, anyway.
Cool. Wonder what he's cooking up.
Let's do this hunt and find out.
Shouldn't be too hard to just go into our quest menu over here and just click on it, and it'll give us a direct location of where we need to head, which ironically enough, is about right where we just were, so give me a second.
These are the targets, right?
Let's take him down.
Yeah, right in the
Focus.
spot where the big Bandersnatch was. Yeah, the dagger quills are now in this area, so in order to make this a little bit easier on me, I am going to swap out the fire for a gun, the Cositis. There we go. So I could just warp strike directly to them and hit them, but if I get close enough to one, let's just get that, there we go. They are weak to daggers, guns, and fire, which trying to hit them with magic in the air is just kind of annoying, but they are not weak to lightning and holy, so I'm gonna swap over to my gun and just start shooting them. Makes it a little bit easier to get just some good shots in. Of course, I'm missing constantly because this one's way too far away. If they are too far away, I could just swap over to a sword and then just warp strike them, and then get a little bit extra damage here and there. Noctis isn't as good with guns as Prompto is, because Prompto's obviously the better shot, but I could just sit here and just keep trying to warp strike them in order to hit them, which they are kind of flimsy with their movement. It's really, really hard to hit them sometimes, so I'm just going to do one of those, get a good shot in, and just get one more. There we go. That should be all of them.
Get it back before it spoils.
None the worse for wear.
And while I'm down here, I might as well just grab the green peas while I'm at it. So we're right over here. Thank you, and thank you.
Oh, how was the hunt, boys?
Good. What are you gonna make with this stuff?
Something I know you'll like.
You mean...
Yep, so y'all make sure to drop by and order some. In the meantime, this here will put some meat on your bones.
And there we go, another quest done. And we also get some more Klein wheat, dual horn steak, as well as lean and peppers. So a little bit more cooking utensil stuff. I called food utensils. You know what I mean. Either way, you got another quest we can talk to.
You boys eating
Of course, it
your
happened
fill?
again.
Oh, there you are. So, you won't do me a favor?
Sure. What is it this time?
Another hunt. My cupboard's darn near empty.
Okay, we're on it.
Knew I could count on y'all. Good hunting.
And that gives us emergency delivery. Obtain a gorilla sirloin, which unfortunately we can't quite do just yet, but we'll keep that in mind. So let's just talk to him for now.
What can I do you for?
And refresh
Y'all
all
hungry
the
for
little
info?
points in the area, just so we have all those points that they show back up on the map and we can get more stuff. And then we have
Of
something new to
course.
here. The Hammerhead Hot Sandwich, and eating that gives us an attack boost level 8, as well as an HP boost level 4. So it gives us 80 attack and 200 extra attack while we have the buff.
Coming right up.
And ordering it, well, it does look tasty, yes. Thank you for the buff.
I dare say I could make this at camp.
Get another recipe out of it. And there we go, that gives us a buff and another quest that we can't really do just yet. But there is some more stuff we can
Seems to
do.
me Takka could do his own hunting.
Take his chef's knife and doink.
He's no doubt aware of the proper points of separation. Would be quite the carver.
Not creepy at all.
Let's head back to Insomnia. It may seem weird too, but we're just gonna head back to the checkpoint. So let's go to a parking spot and go to the Crown City checkpoint. We could just fast travel there by spending 5 gil. It's not that big of a deal. Brings us right back here. There's one particular reason, well, multiple particular reasons why we're actually here. First off, See all those guards there? Yeah, they're blocking the checkpoint. We really can't do anything with them, but we're not here for them specifically, but we may have to fight them. Yep, of course. So let's point warp behind one of them, or at least close enough. Get just close enough to get right over here. And get to the rifleman. That's just kind of just right here, just being annoying. And then we have this over here, which is the big Metal Gear looking thing, which takes forever to scan because it's huge. But it is weak to great swords, daggers, as well as lightning. It's not weak to fire and holy. It has a lot of HP, but this guy right next to us over here, how about we take care of him really quick? There we go. And now we can just take this right here next to him and just start shooting these things. Does a lot of damage over time, and we are constantly getting shot by other stuff. So we might want to be a little bit careful and just keep having at it on this thing. Okay, it overheated. I gotta wait a moment and start shooting it. If you notice, you can also target the things on its back. You can break those if you shoot it well enough. But when you destroy them, you might want to be careful because they start leaking out oil and they may blow up and damage you. So you just might want to be careful where you're at. In the meantime, let's get rid of this one over here as well. There you go, I broke that off. And it's knocked over, so just keep shooting at it. It's a little bit more, and it should be down. There we go, it's done. So let's get off this thing by hitting the A button once more, and then Ignis, bring me back down, please.
Right here. Yep.
Through the wall, that works for me. All right, and then I'll just grab my big sword and just start slashing.
Right back at you.
One more, there we go. Oh, hello there. Didn't notice they were all here still. Just get rid of you. Get rid of you. As well as you. And then one more over there. Let's get a point warp to get my MP back. And then, bam. Thank you, Prompto. Awesome that you just cast that right now. I'm kind of frozen. Kind of funny, you can see the details of that, and he's just like freezing. He's like, sometimes they freak out and like do like a little shake when that happens, but we're not here for that. Where is it? I think, oh yeah, it's past the wall here. So right past the wall where we just fought all those things at the checkpoint. Right over this way. See a couple things. A sign that says, jump, okay. Keep your distance or die, vicious varmints and dangerous demons. Yes, there is a dungeon down here. We don't want to do that dungeon right now. We will die. It's a little high level for us, but we're not here for that. We'll keep that in mind though, because it is something we might want to do later, just not now. We have this right over here. Crest Home Channels, that's the dungeon. Flood channel facility once under direct control of the royal family. The series of pipeways boasts the same processing power as the sewage system of Insomnia, utilizing the same advanced technology. First, the channels would collect rainwater, groundwater, and industrial wastewater from the area around Austrian Gorge. The water was then processed and preserved as a valuable natural resource for the notoriously arid Lead region. With the reduction of the wall, however, also came the release from royal control, and the facility soon ceased operations. At present, the sewer serves as a nesting ground for beasts and demons that presumably snuck in through cracks in the now defunct pipelines. Freshwater fish that loaded into Crestholm also formed their own ecosystem and reservoir above ground, hole known as the sole fishing hole in the whole Leiden mainland. A fishing spot we shall make use of. But first, let me grab this iron bangle, and I think I'm probably good on that. I don't need to equip that on anybody. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to bother. He already has one on. We're good to go. Yes, the fishing spot. It's gonna be right past the checkpoint. As you can tell, the fence ends right over here, and then we can just jump right over, and we get to the Crest Home Channels. Right down this way, there's gonna be a little bit of a river that we could fish. There's a decent chunk of fish in this area, so I'll just list off a couple of them that we can find. I can't catch them all right away, mainly because I don't have all the best lures and my fishing skill is not quite high enough just yet, but I'll catch a few for now. So let me just grab this for now, another fishing lure, the white chocobo. It makes like little popping noises when you move it around, it's kind of neat. But yes, let's do some fishing. So the fish that we can catch in this area vary by the time of day, just like everywhere else. So let's just see what I can catch. And thanks to the Royal Edition with the better rod, we can get something really quickly. Our first catch is a horned bluegill. And for our next rather easy catch in this area, we can get the All-Star Bass. And towards the night, which is still day, so it's just kind of weird, we can catch the Lucian catfish. And another fish that puts up more of a fight than the others.
What the hell is this thing? Whoa, check it out.
Golden catfish.
Massive!
But we're not done in this area quite yet. If we head back to the little instance area where we fought all the troops to see what Insomnia was like, going through this area, we could actually find a bulletproof vest, which can be helpful coming up considering we're going to be dealing with a lot of ballistic damage. A bulletproof vest, as you can tell just by the name alone, blocks against bullets. So if you want, you can replace something for it. It's not a big deal, but it is nice to have. All right, now that we got those things covered, we got a couple extra little bits of gear and some lore and some more fish to fill in our whole fish bestiary. I think it's time we actually head on to our quest location. We are heading to the Prairie Outpost. The Prairie Outpost is not very far from here, but we will have to make the drive. We can't just fast travel, unfortunately. It would be nice if we could, but we have to have Ignis drive along, so let's talk to this little group right over here, get a little bit more information about what's going on. We already kind of have the whole gist of the situation that everyone thinks Insomnia is pretty much gone now, which it mostly essentially is with the Empire having taken over. But yes, hit auto, and we're going to go to our quest location. So just go to Legacy, and there we go. It's going to take about 2 minutes to get there, so we got a little bit of a drive ahead of us. On our way there, on the left, you might see a downed car. You can use a repair kit and fulfill that quest. I believe I already did that one in an earlier episode, so I think we're good here. But there's also some people you might be able to find here and there where they are downed. You use a potion or antidote, and that's another quest. There's quite a few of those in the game, so if you just explore, you'll find them here and there. But we'll get to them at some point, just not now. That's not a downed car on the left there. That's just a completely destroyed car. That one doesn't count. We don't need to worry about that. There's also a scrap of mystery that's going to be in some rubble coming up. It's around this fork around over here. We don't necessarily need to worry about that. I'll get to that when we get to that. But for now, let's just head to the Prairie Outpost where we are going to continue the story.
Well, this must be the outpost Sid mentioned.
It looks like a hub for hunters.
Maybe they know something.
They also have items strewn about here and there, so you can just go and pick up things if you want them. So I might as well just take a look around, such as this little thing right over here. Oryx Culinary Chronicle 1, Entry 3, New Friends. Just as I think as I'm getting the hang of hunting, they sent me up here to some mountain and claim to find the lost fellow from the asylum. And I get half lost myself, no ordinary mountain either. This here is a fire-spewing volcano. Climbed up and crawled through every inch of this rocky hell to finally find what I came for. Little fella curled up next to a big pool of liquid hot magma. Said he's been up here for 2 whole days. Doesn't look like he'll be making it down the mountain under his own power. And now give us a recipe for meat and beet bouillon. However you say that, I'm no cook. Just checking around the area, we can see things here and there, such as this right here, to pick up a metal scrap. As well as Dave.
Howdy, boys. If y'all happen to stumble across another tag out there in the field, do me a favor and bring it my way.
No problem. This one's actually just back the way we came. It's not terribly far. It's just next to a bunch of annex and some dagger quills.
Across the land, blossoms from Tenebrae can be seen displayed in memoriam. With no remains to mourn, throngs have gathered in Altissia to pay their respects. Many offering prayers at a vigil held before the wedding dress Lady Luna Freya was to wear. While some hold out hope the Oracle still lives, a grim silence continues to linger.
All right, before we continue on, there's actually gonna be an item right up here. Just climb up this ladder with a very long climbing animation. I'm holding up for this, and there's no way to speed this up, unfortunately. So, finally made it to the top, and up top we get a rusted bit. So if you haven't upgraded your weapons, you have both the metal scrap as well as the rusted bit. So you can head back to Sid and upgrade them now if you so choose. But, climbing all the way back down. Yep, it's gonna take a very long time. Come on. Almost, and done. All right, there's a couple more items here and there in the area. There's actually gonna be one right up top this garage thing over here. And there's one behind it as well. So right here, we get a metal scrap. And there is a scrap of mystery somewhere. I think I just passed it. I'll get it later. But yeah, right up here, we jump, and then there's an item right there. Oracle Ascension Coin. And yeah, there is the scrap. Where is it? I swear I just saw the little icon for it. I'll come back for it later. Let's read this book. Hunter Outpost. Hunter encampment in Northern Lead. Although Meldacio HQ thought the outpost would help facilitate communication between fellow hunters, natural-born rogues seem to prefer keeping to themselves. Originally established during the Great War, this outpost housed countless refugees forced to flee in fear when the Empire invaded the northern city of Kikatrich. Soon, their former homes were overrun by ferocious demons. All in hope of returning was lost. Nowhere left to turn, and the camp soon reaching capacity. The refugees soon split out into the surrounding areas, eventually across the Lucian continent. Nowadays, the camp is primarily occupied by novice hunters hoping to own their skills against the local wildlife. And around this area too, there is a shop you can go and buy things.
After this time.
If you want, you can buy a broadsword over here as well as a war sword if you want to upgrade any of those. I have the Royal Edition, and most people do if they have the PC edition of the game, so...
Hey, come again.
Yeah, I don't need them. And then right over in this corner over here, we have a shop where we can buy some things if we need them. I pretty much have everything except for some rice. I'm just gonna buy a couple of those.
Thank you!
There we go, just buy a couple of these as well, and we should be pretty much good to go when it comes to food items for now. I'll buy a couple more of these. There we go. I think that'll do it. But yeah, if we head back to where Dave is, just in the corner over here, we're not gonna do his quest just yet. There is a little bit of a small mini game that is not really much of anything. This dartboard right here, we click on it. Throw a dart when Noctis moves his hand forward. Focus and aim for the bullseye. What we gotta do is just kind of wait and throw. Yeah. And if you get a bullseye, you get 3 AP. Pretty simple, really easy, and you get a picture out of it. I wish I could throw bullseyes that easily. Sometimes I can, but it's obviously a game of skill and luck, and I'm on the luck side of things. Before we continue with the main story for now, though, let's actually go and grab that dog tag, which isn't too far from this haven right over here. So let me just make sure I'm going to change the time of day to morning, so it's not 15 o'clock at night. There we go. That's a little bit better. And let's actually swap over to this quest really quick so I can actually point out directly where it's at. It's not terribly far from the Prairie Outpost, so we don't have to worry too much. And there is some stuff you can pick up along the way if you so choose. When we get near the area, however, there are some Annex and Dire Quills. Annex are like large giraffe things. They're rather passive, but if you get into a fight with them around, they will attack you. And unfortunately, since the Dire Quills are here and they're gonna start attacking us, when we start attacking them, the Annex are gonna start attacking us in return. So, not really too much we could do about that. They're not very tough by any means, just go at it with whatever you have. So I'm just gonna just keep swinging to my sword and just swap here and there until I get rid of them. We already fought Dire Quills before and the Annex. Mainly just easy things to test your parry skills on, since they rear up and you can kind of see the prompt way early and you can just kind of hold it and you can go. Or somehow miss it. I have no idea how that happened either way. Yeah, let's just get rid of them. I'll get a Tempest since they're all just like right next to each other. Just whack. And I did not get the prompt to continue that. That's okay. All right, game. All right. Yeah, the calves aren't very strong. The adult ones, they're a little stronger than the calves, obviously, since they're adults. But again, neither one are very hard to fight, in all honesty. So just have at it. If you do want to use the weakness, however, you could just use great swords, lightning, even pole arms. You should be fine. That thing is glitching in place. That's... All right, I guess that's another weakness we can account for. Is just him not really doing anything, just sitting in place the whole time. But yeah, they should go down very, very shortly. They're not too big of a deal. Just kind of parry that, and then bam, that's another one down. And one more to go. Just a couple good hits in. I'm so glad that missed me. And why am I not getting blindsided? Okay, that's okay. I did not see that dagger coil there. At least that one's down too. I think we're done here. There we go. Now, if you want the key tag, it's going to be right over here next to this car. I guess they got attacked and they got taken out through the car. That's kind of gruesome.
Thanks, boys. Reckon whoever this belonged to is real happy to know it's been found.
Yeah, another quest complete. And our reward for that is 5 mega potions. We're pretty much done in this area for now, so let's head over and actually do this quest.
Your Highness, I'm glad you're safe.
Monica, where are all the others?
Most of the Crown's Guard didn't make it. It was all we could do to escort Lady Iris out of the city. Dustin is with her as we speak, seeing her the rest of the way to Lestalem.
I owe you guys big time.
Head for the royal tomb. The marshal awaits.
All right, it shouldn't be too hard to find them. Monster tracking device, pause off. Yeah, I'll keep my pause off. And we have transceivers available for loan. Seeing HQ representative for details. We don't need that either. Out of order. Looks like they're fixing that up. And doesn't look to be anything back here aside from just getting stuck in a corner. So let's head on out. And since it's morning, we don't really have to worry too much about anything really happening. We can just head right all the way over here. So yeah, big broken down structure in the distance.
I can't keep up with this guy.
Pikachu ruins.
First the Crown City, then Hammerhead, then the Royal Tomb?
His nickname should have been Kor the Restless.
Somehow not as catchy as Kor the Immortal.
Making it out of insomnia only adds to his legend.
Well, fortune favors the bold.
Huh?
The wise make their own luck.
You think it's a coincidence he's made it out of all those battles alive? Heads up!
More dagger quills in our way. Shouldn't be too hard to get rid of them. We could just go and just beat them up in here.
Kings of Lucis.
No use hanging around here.
Indeed.
And through this archway. More dagger quills. Let's get back my MP. And target one of them, and bam. Now that we're done with the riffraff, head to the tomb.
A tomb fit for royalty.
Let's go in and find the Marshal.
Marshal. At last, Your Highness.
Yeah. Wanna tell me what I'm here for?
The power of kings passed from the old to the new through the bonding of souls. One such soul lies before you. To claim your forebear's power is your birthright and duty as king.
My duty as king of what?
Now is not the time to question your calling. A king is sworn to protect his people.
And yet he chose to protect only one prince. Was that his calling? Forsake the masses to spare his own son?
How long will you remain the protected? The king entrusted the role of protector to you.
Entrusted it to me? Then why didn't he tell me that? Why did he stand there smiling as I left? Why? Why did he lie to me?
That day, he didn't want you to remember him as the king. In what time you had left, He wanted to be your father. He always had faith in you, that when the time came, you would ascend for the sake of your people.
Guess he left me no choice.
The power of kings goes with you, Your Majesty.
The royal arms are mystical weapons embodying the power of the rulers of O. Usable only by Noctis, these weapons are incredibly powerful, but cost HP to wield. Try not to get carried away and have curatives such as potions on hand to bring Noctis out of danger. Note that royal arms do not induce link strikes. So, royal arms. Wait until I actually get it in my inventory. There we go. Royal arms are actually really good equipment, and I mean really good equipment. So, a royal arm has its own menu. A king built a mighty wall and protected the realm. This was his sword. It devastates foes with preemptive warp strikes. Pretty much, short warp strikes are the name of the game with this sword. It gives you 100 max HP, 30 vitality, 30 magic, and 30 spirit. That's just for having it equipped. So if you just have it on, you get those stat buffs. It is really useful to just have it on your person just to get the extra stat buffs. All the royal arms do this as long as you have it on one of the directional pad options.
That's not the only power your forebears left you. Your journey's just begun. Another tomb lies close by. I suggest you head there next. There are tombs scattered across the land. All are on dangerous ground. I'll go with you, for the time being. Not only to help, but to get a measure of your strength.
So, just how many of these powers are out there?
There are 13 known royal arms, each enshrined at a royal tomb, though we know the location of only a few. I've enlisted the help of the hunters. They comb the land in search of the lost tombs.
Where's the one nearby you mentioned?
Kikatrick Trench. We know there to be a... deep inside the tunnels.
Well, this is not a great first impression for the Marshal. All right then, let's just beat these things up. I'm not gonna bother using the sword too much here. I mean, I can, it's just... it takes things out a little too easily, and it does bring my health down a little bit. So I'll just use my normal weapons until I get to the next area.
Long years ago, we waged a fierce battle here against the Empire. It all went to ruin. And after that, the Empire moved in like it owned the place.
So we have a lot of enemies ahead of us. Thankfully, we actually have Core, which Core kind of stands on the side of the menu, which we can actually look at his gear if we want to. So his techniques are the Lion's Roar. It's very, very powerful. It's level 7 already, so yeah. I mean, his stats are also pretty good as well. He wields the Gotetsu as well as the Kikumonji. And he has the Carbon Bango, the Nalio Bracelet, Protective Amulet, as well as just his usual Crown Guard's fatigues. Unfortunately, you can't really get an idea of what all those things are, but having them in the party is going to be very useful.
I'm going all out. Just don't get too carried away.
You're one to talk.
Let's go in and do some strikes.
Take him head on, or sneak up from behind. The choice is yours.
The Prince of Pain.
Yep. Shouldn't be too hard. Our first bet is actually go to the sniper person right over here and get behind and get a good strike out. And then we can get on this by getting rid of this one over here and then grab this and just start shooting everything.
Pathetic.
There we go. And then go right over here. Fire that one down. There we go. That's another one. And we have a sniper all the way over there, which I can't quite reach from here with the gun. I mean, I could, but I just got shot off the gun. which is fine by me because we got a little bit more to deal with. So let's just kind of hop right back on this thing and then just fire away.
You're out.
You're mine.
There we go. Pretty easy.
Prompto, you all right?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, sir.
So like I mentioned, this area is filled with enemies, but we can sneak on by them or fight them if we so choose. There's a lot of them to deal with, which isn't that big of a deal, honestly. You can just kind of go through. With core, it makes it stupid easy, so we really don't have to worry about it too much.
Man, it's hot.
Then lose the jacket.
But our new weapon actually really helps. Let's see, group right over there.
Everywhere.
Let's get close enough.
Haste is the bane of strategy.
And attack this thing with our new sword. If I could actually hit it, there we go. With our new sword. Every single time we attack with it, we lose some health, which goes to show that these weapons are rather strong. But also, since they do that, yeah, it can break things rather easily too, just due to how strong they are. But don't get too crazy with it because, again, it drains your health.
None the worse for wear. Bring on the next one.
There we go. And right over here, we have a bit of a treasure, the giant hairy horn. Which isn't the only treasure in this area. We have another one that's actually going to be next to where we're heading. So in the meantime, let's head back in that direction so we can actually check it out.
Stinking hot.
Yeah, a Magitech armor.
Dangerous?
This particular model poses a mild to moderate threat.
The short version?
Somewhat dangerous.
Marshall, you'd have to be pretty badass to take that down, right?
Think you're up to it? Let's see what you can do.
It's funny that they say that now after I literally just took care of one of them. And I took care of one of them earlier in the episode. So I'll just swap over to this strong weapon and then bam, get a good hit in there.
How about you show us how it's done?
No wimping out.
And do a couple more good hits.
Pathetic.
All right, broke that. It's gonna fall over. Let's get a point warp in. And then while it's down, get a good strike. Do a decent chunk of damage.
On the ropes now.
Marshall!
There we go. And we're done.
You all right, Highness?
Of course.
And you, Marshal?
No problem.
Pretty simple. We're not done here quite yet. There's a couple more things here and there. Such as this right over here. Royal power emanates from the statue of the founder king. Just kind of goes to show that we're near another royal tomb. But let's see. Should be items right over in this direction. Hello, more enemies. Have a fun time dealing with them really shortly.
Quick.
Outstanding!
Yep. Gladio!
I got it!
We're on the same page.
Yeah! No good! Fall in together now.
How about this?
That wasn't so hard.
It takes two.
And that's it. Yep, we got more.
Going for it! Knocked rules!
No big deal. Life's a little easier with Core around.
Don't get used to it. I'll be gone before you know it.
I'll enjoy it while I can.
All right, and now that we got that taken care of, let's head right over here, jump up here, and there should be an item right over here to grab, a chrome bit. That'd be useful. Back over towards our targets, there's gonna be a hill with some boxes right there. That's what we're actually looking for. So just get close enough, jump up, and just kind of stay up top over here instead of going down. Because right over here, we have the Bioblaster, which is definitely some good machinery, which would be nice to use, but they are very, very wonky. So I'm just gonna give this over to Prompto. While Prompto uses that, it's gonna just dispel a poisonous mist everywhere, which can be nice when you want to poison a bunch of enemies in the area. So I'm just going to let him have that for now because he's gonna be using it a lot.
Here's where we go our separate ways. Take this key. It unlocks the doors to the other tombs. Seek them out and lay claim to the power they hold. You'll need it.
And what will you do?
Keep an eye on the Nifs. Find out what they're up to. But you should focus on your own task.
Let's head. I will. You take care.
All right. So we have a dungeon. Next time Azure plays more Final Fantasy 15. Let's head inside Kika's Trench. See you all then.